In terms of, we all know about the 1980 match, but is there another match that you personally look at, this was the best match I ever played?
I had a year in 1984 where I played a lot of matches where I thought, not the biggest ones, where it was matches where I played in smaller events, where I felt like, you know, almost every ball I hit was the way I wanted to hit it. People don't care about that as much.
No.
They want to hear about Wimbledon or the Open. And I played, the match I played against Connors at Wimbledon in '84 was very one-sided, and I felt like the ball was this big and I could see it and do anything I wanted. But in a way, when it's that one-sided, it may not turn out to be the most memorable match. The match that I played where I lost with Lendl, where I should have won the French Open, was some of the best tennis I ever played the first couple sets.
Yeah.
I blew it, but at the beginning, it was like, okay, I figured this out. I've taken the game to another level. And as far as Bjorn specifically, there was one match I talked about in the book a little bit where early on in my career, we were playing in New Orleans. We used to have only 1 year. We had this big tournament there. It was a great event, great city it seemed like, and it got to about 5-all in the final set, a set piece, and I was typically sort of getting really anxious and, you know, just going a little crazy. And he motioned to me, like with his finger, come to the net. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to tell me I'm the biggest ass that ever lived. And I came up to the net, he put his arm around me, he goes, look, he goes, it's okay. That's basic. It's like, this is good. And I was like, wow. And then I realized what he was, it's like, embrace this in a way. This is amazing. This is, like, and the fact that he said it, because obviously he was Björn Borg. He was like 1-2 in the world already. Him and Connors are the two best players.
Yeah.
It was sort of like he was telling me, at least how I viewed it, is that he was showing me respect and that this was going to be a good thing, like good for us, good for tennis. And that you don't have to go completely crazy all the time. This actually is like going to work out from your favor. So it was quite an amazing moment for me, and especially in retrospect when I had time to think about it, that he was willing to do that, because I ended up winning the match. I could have self-destructed and lost. Sure. But he just was saying, like, hey, this is a great thing. And then the more I thought about it, the more I appreciated that he did say it to me.
In some of your matches against Jimmy Connors, it seems like you guys, your personalities were sort of not the same, but you were both pretty mercurial.
Well, we were two guys, like two bulls, you know, different. We were going to run at each other as hard as we could with the, you know, horns and just. Where, you know, Bjorn and I were yin and yang.
Absolutely.
And, fire and ice, they would say. But Connors and I were cut from the same cloth in a way, different upbringings and obviously different ways to motivate ourselves, but doing anything to win, basically. Absolutely. And I always respected Jimmy quite a bit because. Of all the guys I ever played, and I played a lot of guys, the guy tried harder than anyone I'd ever seen.
Can't kill him.
And no matter what I do, I would. And I thought I tried pretty hard. Yeah. And I'd get out in the court against this guy, and I go, how the hell does this guy? He just wants it so bad that it forced me to like want it more, or take the game to a higher level, to try harder, to give more, to realize that. No matter what I was doing then, that I'm going to have to find like another gear at times. So he was like the Pete Rose. I used to think this guy's the twin. These guys are the same person. He takes his clothes off, Pete Rose, and then goes on the tennis court, and they just, you know, come at you.
Sliding into the net, whatever.
And it was amazing that he would be able to do that. But of course, I wanted to strangle the guy. I mean, he probably wanted to do the same to me while we were playing. But certainly looking back, I never saw anyone that they gave more.
Yeah. Was there an event, when you finished your career the first time, before you came back seniors, was there an event that you felt like, man, that's the one that got away? There was one.
The French, obviously. You know, I was 5 points away, and I was playing great tennis. And I wanted to prove that I could win on everything.
Every surface.
French wasn't taken as seriously. I'm starting to make excuses now, but it wasn't viewed, at least, in the same, and winning Grand Slams. Sure. Back when I first started playing, the top guys weren't even playing the Australian Open. I didn't play the first 6-7 years of my career. Borg had stopped playing, Connors, Vitas had won it in '77, then stopped playing. So it was during Christmas, which seemed like make no sense. The French didn't have the notoriety, or they'd done a great job making it more important again. But at that time, I'd hear about stories where Nastase won it, the stadium's half full, and there was a period. It's like, why bother putting so much out? Because that was close together, French and Wimbledon. Wimbledon's where it's at, the U.S. Open. But then I realized, okay, you should win this also. So not winning it and feeling like I was, could taste it, and to blow it basically because I let it go myself.
Yeah.
That was the hardest one by far.
John, I know you've got other things to do today. I want to thank you so much for taking time, just going through your career a little bit and what you're doing for prostate health and for guys my age, over 50, is wonderful. You. Really appreciate it.
The last thing is, as a kid, I used to ride my bike a lot. I loved riding bikes, and I was crossing Northern Boulevard in New York one time, and I fell. I fell off the bike, and I fell on my arm. And I was like, God, that hurts, whatever. And then I kept going and went to the club, played tennis, and couple weeks go by, I said, "No, my arm is really killing me. I can't play." And she'd say, "Take 2 aspirin and get back out there," or whatever. When she was a nurse, so she knew. 3 weeks later, we finally go in and says, "My arm's fractured," but I still love biking.
Good man. And it's great to have you on a mountain bike. It's great to have you in our world.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
Mr. John McEnroe. Thank you so much.